Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Monday afternoon, on this November the 13th. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi to look at your Colorado weather forecast, and it is very nice outside. I was just outside a few minutes ago. It is beautiful. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s for us in the Denver area. One thing to watch for, though, we do have some elevated fire danger concerns, fire weather warnings on the eastern plains due to a combination of these warm temperatures, a very dry air mass that's accompanying it, and also pretty gusty winds, especially as you get east of the Denver area. So just one of those don't be stupid days. Just avoid anything with a spark outdoors outside on the eastern plains. If we did have a fire start, it'd have the potential to spread pretty quickly. So with that said, otherwise, it's going to be calm today, really calm for the rest of the week, but that's going to melt off some of that snow up into the high country, including there at the Loveland ski area, which just opened its doors for business this past weekend. And a few folks taking those early season turns up there in the high country. I'm a little jealous of that. Meantime, here in Denver, lots of sunshine and a few high clouds interspersed overhead, but the real story is those temperatures. I'll show you those in just a second. Our headlines: it's warm and dry for really not only today, of course, it's for the rest of the week as well. And high fire danger east of Denver, cooler for next week. High fire danger east of the Denver area for today. This will be for eastern Adams, Arapahoe, Elbert counties. On east for Morgan County as well. On east, that's where you could be talking about some of those wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. It's less windy in Denver. That's why the fire danger a little bit lower here in town. We have seen some of those gusts up to near 40 miles an hour so far today. Those winds will relax tonight and also for tomorrow as well. HE Doppler radar is mostly on the quiet side at the moment, but the real story, as mentioned, is those temperatures. Look at that in Denver right now, 64 degrees. Our average high for today is 54. We're likely to get 65, 66 for that high temperature for today. Gorgeous fall weather for this afternoon. Again, beautiful for any sort of outdoor activities. Lots of sunshine overhead. 40s and 50s into the high country, 60s, 70s, eastern plains. For tonight, it is mostly clear and cool for us, but you know what? For the middle of November, and we're talking about those low temperatures in the upper 30s, that's very comfortable for this time of year, climatologically speaking. Mountains mostly in the teens and 20s, depending on your elevation, a few 30s, some of those high spots, and 30s out in the eastern plains for those high temperatures. Now, kind of actually meant to have this here first. I'm going to show you something different here. One moment here. There it is. This is the Broncos forecast. Another thing that's taking place tonight, of course, the Broncos in Buffalo, New York, to take on the Buffalo Bills for that Monday Night Football game. Broncos fresh off their bye. 2-game win streak. They're 3-5, looking to make it 4-5 against Josh Allen and the Bills in Orchard Park. And for that game, temperatures in the low 40s to start. That is very comfortable for this time of year in Buffalo. In fact, you might remember this, that a year ago, one thing to watch for, though, with that game in terms of the weather will be the winds. It'll be a bit gusty at times, especially in the first half. Winds 20, 25 miles an hour. Those winds will relax through the course of the game. Probably not a huge impact, but some impact from the wind. Now, a year ago, and I'll be honest, as a meteorologist, my first thought when I saw that the Broncos were playing in Buffalo in mid-November was, oh boy, that Buffalo this time of year is very prone to getting lake effect snowstorms, especially where the stadium is, where the Buffalo Bills stadium is. It's in Orchard Park. If you've ever been to upstate New York, it's the south towns of Buffalo, the kind of southern suburbs of Buffalo that notoriously can get just walloped with feet upon feet of snow, with these little narrow bands of heavy snowfall from lake effect. And last year, we saw one of those snowstorms almost to the day a year ago produce 77 inches of snow. That is taller than Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, almost as tall as Nikola Jokic, or almost as high, as much snow as Nikola Jokic is tall. So just for context in terms of just how much snow they got a year ago. So when we're talking about this forecast, I think we'll gladly take the fact that A, it won't be feet of snow, B, it won't be snowing at all, and C, those temperatures can be fairly comfortable for this time of year there in western New York. So again, weather will be of slight impact with those winds, but not nearly as big of an impact as those as it could be. And tomorrow here in Denver, mostly sunny skies, another beautiful day ahead. Highs right around 70 degrees for us. Lots of sunshine, those temperatures in the 60s and 70s on the eastern plains, 40s and 50s into the high country. And just a few clouds overhead, nothing significant, certainly nothing that's going to come from those clouds tomorrow afternoon. Again, there's that Buffalo forecast. I didn't mean to show that twice. 7-day forecast, temperatures near 70 degrees for the next couple days. Then the weekend, we see some changes. At this point, it looks like only some showers on Sunday, but stay tuned in terms of that forecast. We may have to alter that. There's an area low pressure. It looks like it's going to pass off to our east. How close it gets to Denver will determine how much rain, and also, by the way, what kinds of impacts we could have to our next Broncos home game on Sunday as they host the Vikings. We could have some weather impacts to that game on Sunday afternoon here at Empower Field at Mile High. If that system passes close enough, then next Monday it's cooling down. And next week in general, I don't want to show you exact maps or anything like that because, especially when we're talking about Thanksgiving, that's still 10 days out. That is a long ways away, and there's a lot of differences in the computer forecast models. I'll just say that it looks a bit wetter and certainly much cooler and colder for next week. Another thing I'll tell you too is if you're like us, maybe you're thinking about having that Thanksgiving meal outdoors this year, I would think again about that. I'm not going to give you an exact number or even numbers, but I'll just say that enough of the computer forecast models at this point are pointing to temperatures topping out just the 30s and 40s that my guess is you're probably going to want to have your Thanksgiving meal inside. And I know it's beautiful this week. We got those 60s, even some low 70s possible. You're probably thinking, I bet if this sticks around, we're going to be able to have that Thanksgiving meal outside. Things are going to change for next week. It looks much colder, and I feel pretty confident in saying that Thanksgiving you want to have that indoors. Again, exact numbers, we'll get to that as we get a bit closer. But the overall pattern, very, very favorable to much colder temperatures. Maybe the possibility for some rain or snow around Thanksgiving. Again, very early, folks. It's still 10 days out. We will, I assure you, get you more details as it gets a bit closer. But just overall plan on a cooler, potentially wetter week next week, especially in the high country. But once again, for us here in terms of those overall headlines, very nice weather, sunshine, temperatures topping in the 60s, maybe even the low 70s for the next few days. High fire danger, eastern Colorado for today. That fire danger should back off for tomorrow. Then for the weekend, things cool down and go Broncos tonight, as they'll be dealing with some gusty winds, but that's about it out in western New York for tonight. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin will have an update for you coming up at 9 News at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family of Networks. Once again, I'm 9 News Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Monday.